Good afternoon, and thank you. We're Team Purchace, and just to kick things off, quick question for the audience. How many of you are parents? How many people in the room are parents right now? Oh. All right, perfect, thank you. So Purchace is the easiest way for parents to give their teens access to their credit cards while in the store, while parents are not there. So before you jump to conclusions thinking about giving your teenagers credit cards, let's go ahead and dive into the problem here. So number one, teenagers spend a ton of money. That much we know for sure. Research shows that teenagers are going to be spending about $225 billion in 2013, and a lot of analysts have coined this term premature affluence, because teenagers are almost spending beyond their means, so to speak. So before we go to the next slide, who knows what the number one source of a teenager's income is? It's you guys, exactly. So thank you. So number one, parents are the number one source of a teenager's income. And there's understandable concerns here. So if we can go on to the next one here. So parents giving their teenagers either cash, credit, prepaid cards, debit cards, etc. It gives the teens access to cash, but there's a big lack of transparency and control at the point of sale. So as we can see here, this kid has actually lost part of his head because he's been spending so much money. We're not sure what happened on that one. So, but it's true. There's just a lack of transparency at the point of sale. That's where we come in. So Purchace is a mobile solution for this problem. What we do here is there's going to be both the parents and the teenagers will download the app. In the store, teenagers will be at the merchant scanning items and building a virtual shopping cart. Once they've made the shopping cart, they then share the shopping cart with their parents. They can review the items and approve the items and actually make a payment directly to their kid from there. Then their teen can be at the merchant, check out, and pay with their phone at the point of sale. Just sizing the mark real quick, 23 million teens in the US have smartphones. So we can actually, just saying that there's usually like parents have about 2 kids. So double that to include their parents. About 40 million people could be using this app. And mobile payments is a really burgeoning industry, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry now. For our revenue strategy, we are going to be adopting a freemium model. So essentially, you can download the app for free, but then parents, they can upgrade and have basically an analytic dashboard detailing their teen spending. When they make the upgrade as well, they'll unlock financial, we're calling them ACEs. These are essentially did you know tips that'll be shared with the teen on the teen's phone, trying to build stronger financial acumen. And another key insight here, in terms of the actual data, we want to be able to share this data with brands and companies, because it'd be great insight for a company to be able to see this teen added this item to their cart, but the parent actually rejected it. And if you're targeting teens here, you want to be able to navigate that. So you can really start having some greater insights into brand positioning based off of this kind of data. This is just brief info. We'll jump back to this in a second. Let's go through. These are just some 3 mock-ups of what this can look like. We've been building it out so far. We're building out the beta currently. This is the login side here. Here's what it looks like for teens who are scanning items. So again, they'd be scanning UPCs and building a shopping cart. Then they can ask for approval, send it back to their parents, and it's as simple as that. You review the items, click the items that you want to approve, and then make the payment directly to the teen. Just a brief overview of our team ourselves. My name's Nick. I went to Duke University and studied economics. Previously, I actually worked for Visa doing business development. I did both sales and marketing. My buddy Encore here, software developer from NIT Certit. He specializes in machine learning and droid development. Christy is an investment banker. And then we've got one other person on our team who's a designer and developer as well. So we are actively in the early stages of trying to raise some angel funding. So I'm interested in fielding your questions, hearing what you guys have to think. So thank you.
Can you go ahead and explain your revenue model as to what is your revenue model? How do you make money?
Absolutely. So again, going into the freemium model here, we'd offer it for everyone to download for free. And then if parents wanted to upgrade and basically have access into their teen spending habits, that would give them a chance to basically get a dashboard that we'll put together, which this dashboard will contain basically spending over time, but also will help parents be able to properly budget for their teens and really understand what they're buying.
So it's like a premium app that the parents have to download and pay for it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you have more questions? So explain to me that I can give a credit card to my son, right? And I can just limit how much he can buy. $25, $50 a month, whatever, right? I can just put a limit on that. That's so convenient versus one of the other 500,000 applications that I need to download and monitor, all that stuff. How would it be different, right, compared to the convenience that I already have, accepting that but that has a little bit of flexibility, right, where I don't know what my kid is buying versus here, right? But I can still set the limits, and I know exactly what the kid is buying because I can see the reports, I can get all the analytics, right? Everything, I already have all that information, excepting I just don't know what he's buying. So explain to me what's the difference.
Yeah, so diving into that question again, so basically in terms of, like you said, the opportunities are you can give your kids cash or prepaid cards, and you can limit their spending and really limit those, but we wanted to dive into the actual item specifics. So like you said, you can actually review those purchases after they're made. We're enabling that to be happening at the fact, so your teen won't be inactively buying items.
But is that really practical? Because I may be somewhere busy, and if my son is in a shopping place, right, he's buying some stuff,
right,
there is no way I'll be able to do an approval within seconds.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. So I guess there's two ways we've looked at it. For one being, it does make the shopping experience a little bit more social and it enables it at the point of sale. And so you can run a little bit lower risk in terms of the purchase being made. But one thing we didn't discuss, which is kind of moving a little bit beyond your question here, but from an enterprise standpoint, for instance, using that as a use case, there's a lot of either franchises or various spots where someone has to be out making a purchase and they need someone's approval for it. And so we're looking at more of from an approval model, making sure that the correct purchases are being made. Did that actually answer your question, or is there?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to add on that? I think that's good. Okay, yeah.
I'll actually add one thing. I mean, this is an interesting one because I'm kind of trying to play it through the scenario in my own head, and I heard someone out here mention micromanagement, and I can see some concerns around that.
Yeah.
Saying, do I really want to know down to the penny what my kids are doing? However, I'd add is not so much a question as a thought that which might address the other thought as well. Is it'd be interesting, I think, from a parent standpoint, to almost be able to pre-approve certain amounts and have that convenience of not having to get the approval, but still being able to get item level reviews when I do have the time, in case I happen to be a very OCD-ish parent.
Right, yeah, no, that's a great idea, actually. I guess my response to that is thank you for that insight, because we will consider that.
Yeah, I'll just take an equity. That's okay.
All right, perfect.
But you haven't. Sorry, you haven't actually addressed the question that Jagdish raised, because that's going to be your strongest competition. Is parent, even especially today, the way teenagers are, we're not going to go into details of what they purchase and figure it out, because we have no control over it. So we can just, our only source of control is really the cash piece. That is, this is the limit, and you deal with it. And they have the whole, So beyond that, it's not clear to me that this is going to be a successful app that's going to work, that is going to convince anybody to pay the premium and download it, et cetera, when they already can do that with this very simple device of limiting the amount of money they can spend. I don't think you really answered that question.
Okay, yeah. Well, I think number one, from a parent's perspective, being able to, I caution to use the word micromanage, but definitely have greater insights and control into your teen's spending. I can see the incentive from a parent perspective, but also our value add there, of course, is being able to offer greater financial education for the teens as well, because ushering them into an era where they will be using, like you said, credit cards, offered more freedom, this can be almost a gateway into that, and really offer that kind of just broader financial understanding as they get enter that payment period. Is there any thoughts on that?
Yeah. Oh, and then if you use the app, it's like we think that it can make it can be really interactive. I'm a kid and I want to buy this item, and I send it to you, and you say no, and then I can call you and text you and explain why I want to buy it, and then you can give me a comment. So it can be really interactive. So if you're a really busy parent, it's not going to work.
I'd rather deal with that problem maybe once a month when I see the statement rather than every day, frankly, right? Or every hour, right? I have, at the end of the month, I'll get a statement and say, okay, do you really want to buy this or that, and so on. Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.